Okay, imagine this. You finally got what you wanted, the person, the opportunity, the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. And then you do something to ruin it. Maybe you picked a fight for no reason. Maybe you went quiet when you know you should have shown up. Or maybe you convinced yourself that it was too good to be true and you left it before it left you. And now you're sitting with this horrible, confusing feeling because you wanted it. You genuinely wanted it. So, why did you ruin it? Hi, my name is Niyati, and today we're going to talk about something that a lot of us do, but very few have language for it. But before I get into it, I wanted to tell you this clearly. If you've ever done this, you're not a bad person. You're not careless, and you're definitely not broken. You were just someone who was taught early on that good things don't last. And today, we're going to sit and talk about it. So, what you're doing is called self sabotage. Self sabotage is when you, consciously or subconsciously, create obstacles between yourself and something good, something that you actually want. And I need you to sit with this, something that you actually want, because that's what makes this so painful and confusing. This is not about not wanting things. This is about wanting something so deeply that it terrifies you, and then doing everything in your power to make sure it doesn't stay, because a part of you already believes it won't. So, where does this actually come from? It comes from your history, not your personality, your history. At some point in your life, maybe your childhood, maybe in a friendship, or in a relationship that you thought was safe, something good was taken away from you, or something left, or something that felt certain just stopped. And then your mind, which by the way is always trying to protect you, made a note of it. It said, okay, so this is how it works. Good things arrive, then they go. People show up, then they leave. So the safest thing to do is try not to get too attached. And that note, that quiet decision your brain made to protect you, has been running in the background ever since. So now, when something good shows up in your life, your nervous system doesn't celebrate it. It panics because it has seen this before. It has been there before and it remembers how it ended. And the thing is, self sabotage doesn't always look dramatic, and that's what makes it so hard to catch. Sometimes it looks like picking a fight 3 days into something that was going beautifully. Not because anything went wrong, but because things going right feels more dangerous than things actually going wrong. Sometimes it looks like pulling away from someone who is actually showing up for you. Not because they did something wrong, but because someone constantly choosing you feels unfamiliar, and that makes you uncomfortable instead of safe. And sometimes, this is something that I do very often, it looks like waiting too long to take an opportunity that it quietly disappears. And then you tell yourself it wasn't meant to be, when the truth is, you were afraid to find out. And sometimes, this one is the hardest to say it out loud. Sometimes it looks like staying in things that are bad for you, even though it slowly is tearing you apart. All of these are the same thing. A person who learned through being left or let down that good things are not something that they get to keep. But that is not true. Not even a bit. To be really honest with you, a lot of my loved ones have done it. I have done this. Standing at the edge of something real and finding every reason to convince yourself that it wasn't. Having been in moments where I know I should stay, but I made myself leave instead. Yes, all of that is self sabotage. And if you relate to this, I want you to not feel ashamed about it. I want you to feel seen, because this did not just come from nowhere. Something happened to you. Someone left, something was taken, and you simply adapted. You built these walls that you thought were wisdom, and in many ways, they were. They kept you safe for a long, long time. But at some point, those same walls start keeping you away from the very thing you've been waiting for. So, what do you do when you recognize these patterns in yourself? First, you need to stop treating it like a character flaw. This is not your personality. This is just something you learned to do to survive, and you can learn something different. Second, you start to notice the moment it begins, because there is always a moment, a shift that happens between this feels good and I need to get out. And when you feel the shift, I want you to pause. Just pause. and ask yourself, am I reacting to something that is actually in front of me right now, or am I reacting to something that happened years ago? Because the person in front of you is not the person who left you. The opportunity in front of you is not the opportunity that was taken away from you. They're not the same, so you should stop treating them like they are. Third, and this is the slow, unglamorous part, you practice staying. Not perfectly, not without fear, but just staying. I want to read you something that I wrote for you. Something happened to you once and something good was taken away from you, and your heart made a quiet decision that it would never be caught off guard like that again. So it started to leave first. But what if the next one wasn't going to leave you? What if you just never gave it a chance to stay? You have survived every ending that was forced on you. You are allowed to stop creating ones that weren't. Let life show you what it has for you. It may work out, it may not work out, but at least you'll know. And knowing, even the hard kind, is always better than a life spent wondering what would have happened if you had just stayed a little longer. That is it. That was my time with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.